I've been thinking, have you ever felt caged within your skin and you have no idea how you got where you are? Do you question your existence, your very essence? Today, we will explore how to address our connection to our inner self with the secondhand advice from the book, The Untethered Soul by Michael Singer. We've all experienced being caught up in our own toxic thoughts. We get envious, depressed, and even worried. These negative emotions take us away from the person we actually want to be. While the mind is astonishingly wonderful, pressing us to higher elevations in creative thinking and power, it too can take us low, undermining all those great ideas and immersing us in negative thoughts. The truth is, we do not understand our own minds. The mind holds a mysterious and dynamic awareness that can extinguish the feelings that hold us back and instead release the positive energy in all of us. Today, we'll discuss the distinction between your self and your personal self, how you can channel your inner energy, and how defeating fear is like removing a painful splinter in your finger. All of us have a little voice in our heads. It is our inner monologue, also known as our stream of consciousness. What exactly is it, and why does it never quit talking? If you stop and pause momentarily, you should be able to hear it. Your internal stream of consciousness hardly ever ceases to take a break. The first step toward enlightenment is to begin taking notice of your inner voice. Enlightenment also requires that you recognize that your thoughts don't define you. They're simply results of your consciousness. Your consciousness is the part of your brain that invests all day into processing your thoughts and feelings and the information your senses detect. When you begin paying attention to your inner voice, you'll see that it adheres to specific patterns. Often it makes you worried, distressed, or astonished. It also influences your emotions. In some cases, we get so enraptured by our thoughts that we forget they're simply objects of our consciousness. This is the distinction between our self and our personal self. Your self is your pure consciousness and awareness, which flows as it likes. Your personal self is how you perceive yourself and the patterns of your thoughts. If you frequently feel unhappy, for example, you might think about yourself as an unhappy person. If you're always jealous of others, you may see yourself as an envious person. To become enlightened, you have to realize that these thoughts and feelings are not your identity. They don't define you. You are not your sadness. You are not your jealousy. The actual you is merely aware of the part these thoughts and feelings play. There's a reservoir of energy deep within you. Don't obstruct it, but discover how to let it flow. Consciousness is a remarkable, strange thing. It's just like the energy we all have inside ourselves. If you can master how to flow with this powerful energy, you can conquer anything. Similar to the energy of the material world, there's an internal energy inside you. Inner energy might appear mystical or intangible, yet in fact, it's incredibly authentic. It's a source that's always there, just waiting for you to use it. We don't always feel it because we tend to obstruct it subconsciously. We disrupt and damage its natural flow. Picture yourself driving down the street. As you go, you'll see buildings, traffic, people, and trees. Suddenly, you believe you see your ex walking down the street, holding hands with another person. You'll continue driving, however, your consciousness will become wholly consumed by this mental picture. You'll go back to this image over and over again in your mind. It might make you anxious or jealous, and you certainly won't be able to relax. In circumstances such as this, you have to allow those negative thoughts to travel right through you. Otherwise, your inner energy will intensify, but become obstructed. Unreleased energy can lead to negative feelings like depression. You can never have a fear-free life. The only way to go beyond fear is to let it go. Your consciousness has a nasty habit of focusing on negative things and events, but there's a reason we evolved by doing this. Focusing on our predators made us most likely to survive. However, this characteristic has pushed us to be quickly affected by fear and anxiety. So how can you push aside your fear and anxiety to live a much more carefree and pleasurable life? Fear is also a part of your consciousness. You can manage it by two means: identify its presence and let it go, or flee from it and hide. It can be hard to accept that fear is simply an object of your consciousness. This is why we often bury it within. We also structure our lives so nothing ever provokes or triggers fear, to safeguard ourselves against it. Consider when you've had a splinter in your finger. It hurts if you touch it. You might find it hard to rest during the night since you're inadvertently bumping into it. In this circumstance, you have two choices. Change your actions and motions so absolutely nothing ever touches the splinter, or face the issue head on and pull it out. Letting go of your fear is much like getting rid of a splinter. Accept that your anxiety is just a separate thing you are required to get rid of. It's not a part of you. It doesn't define you. Fear is ultimately the result of obstructed internal energy. When your natural flow of energy becomes blocked, it can't reach your heart. Your heart will become weaker and much more prone to being afraid. Enlightenment isn't about getting rid of fear entirely. That would certainly be impractical. The objective is to get to a place where you recognize fear. However, you do not let it take control of your life. When you widen the focus of your awareness, you go beyond the confines of your individual self. Releasing your thoughts and feelings is essential to spiritual growth. But what if you could teach your consciousness to turn away from yourself, your thoughts and feelings? Suppose your consciousness could transcend all that and end up being something more profound. Your consciousness is firmly attached to your personal self, that mental construction formed over the years by your thoughts and feelings. Your individual self functions like a cage that your awareness cannot leave. Think about the animals in a zoo. You may feel sorry for the animals confined to small cages, but the irony is you're trapped in a type of cage as well. You're trapped in your own self and the construction of yourself in your own mind. We continuously tell stories to ourselves about what we are, even if it's something as simple as gender. For example, if we are female, we are affected by everything related to that gender, the mentalities, weaknesses, strengths, worldviews, etc. That reality limits us to that identity, and it can become all that we see ourselves all our lives and how people see us. But spiritually, we are neither male nor female. We impose psychological borders on our own minds to secure ourselves from anything we feel might threaten our view of what we are or how we view ourselves. When you let go of your thoughts, your awareness can expand. Have you ever been so caught up in a movie that you ignored the world around you? Your consciousness functions the same way. It's continuously focused on your thoughts that it tunes out everything else. Buddhists call this clinging. As long as you continue clinging, you're constructing a cage for yourself. There is freedom in letting go. You realize the peace that comes when your consciousness isn't clinging to the thoughts, impressions, and feelings that flow through it. When you allow these thoughts to flow on their own, your awareness increases. Your negative thoughts won't weigh you down. They'll just float on by. This is precisely how you transcend your personal self. One of the ways that we can do this is to consider death. The concept of death aids us in viewing our lives through a more transparent lens and prioritize what is essential. Human beings are said to be the only species that understand that they will someday die. People have grappled with this concept since the dawn of humankind. Death is terrifying. However, it also gives life purpose. What would you do differently today if you understood that it was your last day on Earth? Contemplating our own demise also helps you prioritize what is essential. Consider everything you do during the day and all the time and energy needed. Now, visualize that you know you're going to die in a week. How would you change your life? How would you invest your time in your final days? Now ask yourself, why aren't you doing those things now? What's stopping you? Don't waste your time on meaningless things. If something's so essential that you intend to do it before you die, you should do it now. Let's review. You are not your thoughts. You're simply aware of them. The sooner you realize this, the sooner you can let go. Do not let your consciousness get too wrapped up in any one thought, or else you're placing yourself in your own cage. When you master this concept and let your inner energy flow, you'll be healthier, happier, and more enlightened. Can you tell the difference between yourself and your personal self? What ideas of yourself have you had to let go of? Comment below with your best advice. Please be sure to like and subscribe as well. And thank you for watching. I've given it some thought, and here is my list of things I'd like to do before I die. Sleep through an entire night without having to get up to pee. Get into the best shape of my life, and then spend the next several months eating takeout food and napping to normalize my body. Oh wait, I've already accomplished that during COVID quarantine. Make vanilla pudding, put it in a mayo jar, and eat it in public. Stand on a street corner wearing a shirt that says life, and then hand out lemons to people.